Welcome to Caching Waves. We're looking at the micro on HBAR, just down on the 15-minute. If you haven't seen my longer term counts, you're welcome to go back in the catalog. But we're just looking for the finishing pivot potential on HBAR. First of all, from our high here back in August 14th, we had a wave or a W. We had an X wave or a B. And we're working on a C or a Y. Now, the best way I've been able to count this crazy chop or super complex correction is we have our A wave, we have an expanded B wave, we have our third wave, which on linear scale came to the extension 2.618 here, as you can see. This counts pretty tough in here. A couple ways to count it is a 1, 2, and then we had a 1, 2, short 3, 4, 5. It's ugly though. And then we had our third. We had our fourth and fifth here. It's pretty ugly. But besides the count, this can be chopped up as a multiple complex correction as well. But more importantly is our fib areas. We're looking for a pivot. Now if we look at log scale, we're still within this downtrend for this final wave. As I expect a pivot down here at the bottom from here off to the races. Now for the macro counts, I'll do a video on HBAR later this week for longer term counts, but as of right now we're looking for a pivot at this low. As you can see, we hit the 1-to-1 on log scale of this potential W or A wave. We hit the 1-to-1 right here. But our pivot here down at the micro, you can see this is 3 waves. So the only way that would be considered a bottom is somehow if this is a ending diagonal, which is pretty tough. We're not contracting, and we came to pretty far extensions, so I don't believe that's a bottom. We had what appears to be an impulse up, but again, we came pretty low here. So pretty low probability that that's a bottom. So based on that, I expect us to make one more low. Now the 786 line in red, dashed line going to the hourly, is the 786 of this initial wave up, which was a complex correction in itself. So looking for a pivot at that low to make new highs above 7.6 cents. Going back down to the 15-minute. So on log scale, that 786 target is 4.43 cents. And if we go on linear, as you can see, we're within the channel on log. We have to use both scales. We've come out of the channel in linear, but we're rejecting to the downside as expected. So yesterday, I thought this was the start of the fourth here. I think we're just getting a more complex correction where we have a flat 535 here followed by a complex X wave, and we're working on our ABC up. It might be in already. If this is an ABC flat, you can see 5 waves there. But just be aware that we can come a little bit higher. It's a pretty thin retracement. If this is the count for our third, we haven't even hit the 0.236 yet. But because it looks so weak, we can just drop from here. So our 1-to-1 on our linear scale of this W wave for our Y or C is at 4.53. So you can see between the 786 and the 1-to-1, that's our targets here, between 4.53 and 4.43 between the two. After this, expecting either an ending diagonal here where we get some overlap down to the target, or just a quick 5 wave impulse. Not sure which one we're going to get yet, but looking for a long here. And the way I'd want to see that is whichever we get, I want to see a break of the trend line. I want to see a break of the trend line on log scale. So what that would look like is, say we get 5 waves as an impulse here. We'd want to see a break of that trend line and then find support on the previous 4th wave. So we want to break and find support in that previous 4th wave here. So that's what I'm looking for our long trade setup. So hoping to find resolution here. And again, if this gets a little more complex, don't worry about it. It can probably even turn into a triangle and drift a little bit out of the trend line as a false breakout, then come down. But as of right now, that's my target area, 4.43, between 4.43 and 4.53. All right, guys, if you want updates on this, make sure to ring the bell so you know right away. I'll be making videos pretty much every day as we get closer to this pivot. Thanks for watching.